visionary leadership has been characterized by the rebirth of NSE for the growth, empowerment, and advancement of engineering practice in Nigeria and beyond. We are delighted to welcome you all to this month's NSE International Relations Committee webinar in collaboration with NSE Glasgow branch and the Young Engineers Forum. So we'll be proceeding with the opening prayer. So with the count of 1, 2, we'll proceed. O God of all creation, grant this our one request.
Let's rise for the opening prayer, please. It's part of our national anthem. Wherever we are, let's rise.
So, O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Abdurazak. And this webinar is designed to last for up to 2 hours. And I'll be giving us a brief safety tips on what is expected of us to do. And this webinar is a very important webinar. Like I said, it's like 2 hours, so we might be sitting long. So the first thing I want us to know is to make sure that we have ourselves, we take our time to walk around after sitting for a long time, say maybe 30 minutes. If you sit for like 30 or 40 minutes, you stand up and walk around so you can, relieve yourself of some prayer. And if you are joining this meeting from your personal computer or workplace, you should be aware of the environment you are joining this meeting from in order not to have some compromise, because security is key. So be mindful of comments as this meeting is being recorded. So another important safety tips I want to tell us is to also be careful about our passwording for your computer. So use a very strong password to access your information, not as simple like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not advisable. So make sure you have a strong combination of password. And sensitive information, be careful of sharing personal issues or personal information on this platform, as like I said, it's being recorded. So generally, let's be watchful and take care of our health as we sit to enjoy this webinar. Thank you very much. Over to you, Engineer Abdrazak.
Thank you very much, my co-moderator for today's event. Before we proceed, permit me to respectively recognize and acknowledge the presence of our leaders and dignitaries. And first and foremost, let me recognize the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, President and Chairman in Council, Engineer Margaret Aino Guntala, FNSC. Thank you very much for joining today's webinar. Permit me to also recognize some of our vice presidents in our midst. Engineer Engineer Ibrahim Aliyu, the Vice President and Membership Service. Some of our National ESCO members, we have Engineer YEFoN Agbiji, Membership Service Board. We have some of our distinguished leaders. We have some past chairmen of NSC branches. You are all welcome. I want to also recognize our presenter for today's program, Engineer Dr. Kenichi Omeke, the Senior Data Scientist and Researcher, and also Dr. Saliu Lukman, who will be sharing their expertise on navigating the complexity of a master's program and scholarship opportunity. A very special recognition to the International Relations Committee, led by Engineer Mrs. Valerie Agberagba, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, a trailblazer in the engineering profession whose remarkable career served as an inspiration to many of us, especially the young engineers. I also want to recognize the chairman of NSC Glasgow branch for the collaboration in making today's webinar possible. Today's session is held under the inspiring theme, Unlocking Your Potential, Navigating Master's Program and Scholarship with a Growth Mindset. This theme is both timely and relevant as it aligns with the inspiration of many young engineers and mid-career engineers who are seeking opportunities to expand their knowledge, sharpen their skills, and build global competitiveness through advanced education. In an ever-changing world where continuous learning is the key to relevance, this webinar provides a unique platform to guide participants in identifying the right opportunities, preparing competitive applications, and developing the mindset needed to thrive academically and professionally. As we begin this session, let us open our minds, engage actively, and take away valuable lessons that will sharpen and that will shape our academic and professional journey. Once again, on behalf of the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers,
Engineer Abdurazak, you are on mute. You can unmute yourself and speak.
so help us mute Light Global. Okay, apologies for the break in transmission. So I want to welcome everyone to this webinar. Let us open our hearts and minds, engage actively, and take our valuable lessons that will shape our academic and professional journeys. Once again, on behalf of the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina Oguntala, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I warmly welcome everyone to this webinar. Next on our agenda is the welcome address by the Chairman of the Young Engineers Forum, Engineer Adenike Sandra. Let's welcome her as she takes the welcome address. Thank you very much. Hello, Engineer Sandra, the chairman. Please unmute. No, I can't hear you. Or maybe it's is it my network? Someone can confirm if you can hear her, please.
Engineer Sandra, we
She's
cannot
not.
hear
She's
you.
not audible.
Okay, we can't hear.
Engineer Sandra, if you can hear us, if you're using a headset, maybe you might need to remove that.
I know her sound on her PC is not working.
Yeah.
Maybe you use a headset or something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can
We
hear
can
you
hear
now.
you now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Network was actually bad. I think better now. The president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, chairman in council, Engineer Margaret Aino Ogutala, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the vice president of Nigerian Society of Engineers, the chairman of the International Relations Committee of NSC, Engineer Valerie Ifekwa Abiagba, distinguished fellows, distinguished chairman of NSC Glasgow, the coordinator of YEFoN, members of NSC, our esteemed speakers, invited guests, young engineers across Nigeria and beyond, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this webinar. It is with great pleasure and delight I welcome you all to this special webinar on the theme, Navigating Master's Program and Scholarship with a Growth Mindset. This program is jointly organized by the International Relations Committee of the Nigerian Societies of Engineers, NSC Glasgow, and the Young Engineers Forum of Nigeria, YEFoN. As the coordinator of YEFoN and host of this event, I'm proud of this caption, which reflects the vision of NSC to provide platforms that connect young engineers with opportunities for growth, learning, and international engagement. This joint effort underscores the society's commitment to prepare the next generation of engineers for excellence at and global level. Beyond technical requirements, success in this pursuit depends on cultivating a growth mindset. It is the mindset that enables us to turn challenges into opportunities, embrace continuous learning, and remain resilient in the face of competition. We are privileged to have distinguished speakers who will share their practical insights on navigating postgraduate programs, assessing scholarships, and leveraging global opportunities. I encourage all young engineers present to listen attentively, ask questions, and apply the lessons from today's section. On behalf of the Young Engineers Forum of Nigeria, I sincerely appreciate the leadership of the NSC, the International Relations under the leadership of Engineer Valerie Agberaba, FNSC, our partner in the NSC Glasgow branch also, for their dedication and nurturing and empowering young engineers. Once again, I warmly welcome you all, and I wish us a fruitful and inspiring section today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the chairman of the Young Engineers Forum, for that wonderful and inspiring welcome address. At this point, we shall be proceeding with the introductory remarks to be delivered by none other person than the past Vice President of the World Federation of Engineering Organization, a past Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and also a Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. She is also the distinguished chairperson of the International Relations Committee. Please join me in welcoming Engineer Valerie Agberagba, FNSC, to give her remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Yusuf Abdulrazak. You're doing a very good job, and good morning to every one of us. Our very delectable president, first female president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina Oguntala, FNSC, the chairman of NSC Glasgow branch. Oh, sorry, let me not miss my protocols. I'm told that some vice presidents are on this call. I recognize the vice presidents of the Nigerian Society of Engineers who are here, Engineer Tijani. I know I heard them introducing you. And all the other vice presidents here, I recognize you. ESCO members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, you are recognized. Chairman, NSC Glasgow, Engineer Shegun Olarinoye, and the coordinator of the Young Engineers, Sandra Adenike. I recognize you, and please allow me to acknowledge all the distinguished members who are on this call. Good morning to all of you. And for those who are joining from other parts of the world, it's a good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are. Distinguished young engineers, I know one of the things we have faced in Nigeria is the fact that most brilliant young minds today are like, where do I fit in? What can I do? And because of inability to get a good job or get something doing, there's this craze for us to be able to go in and let me just go and do my master's. And we've been thinking of doing that. But we have seen that we need to be decisive in what we do. And that is why the International Relations Committee, having it as one of our terms of reference, to be able to build capacity in young engineers and connect them to unlocking their potentials. That was one of the additions by the president to the terms of reference for the international relations this year. And we were very concise in thinking of what do we do. And when we listen to NSC Glasgow have a program for their own young engineers early in the year, talking about assessing scholarship, we thought, no, this should not be for only young engineers in Glasgow or in London. We need it more in Nigeria. We need to assess scholarship. We need to get our young engineers having a growth mindset so they're not just going abroad to do masters just to while away time, but you are going to do your masters on something that will open doors for you. So I know that sometimes we have dreams. We are thinking of what to do, what class university, what course can I do? Lovely ideas, but we must be sure on how to do our paperwork so that we don't get rejected. And that's why we are focusing on what we are doing today, how you can think of this journey, how you can build your career path. So it means you must have a fixed mind. You must be ready to work hard and you must be able to see what you can do. Getting to do your master's and going abroad is just like being able to solve a complex engineering program, which is always an exciting challenge for us. We just finished an innovation challenge not too long, and I could see the excitement in the faces of others. So let it be so with us when we are thinking of our master's program. Let's not just choose a program just because I want to get away from Nigeria. It's been so tough here. What am I doing? There's no job. So you are at a point, a very pivotal junction where you need to decide what you have to do. And so this morning, I want to encourage all of us. I see we have about 117 young engineers, professional engineers on this call. It shows we are all concerned. We want to have a shift in our perspective. We want to be able to decide on how we do things and do it right. So please open your mind to the discussion. I hope all of us have our papers and biros. Can I see a yes on the platform if all of you have your papers and biros?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, young engineers. You have your paper and
Yes,
biro,
ma.
or you are
Yes.
Yes,
ready?
no,
Yes,
we
ma.
Can I
have
Yes,
see
ma.
our
a yes?
papers and
Everybody,
all.
thumbs up if you
Yes,
have
ma.
it.
Paper and Bible.
Yes, so I know some of
Yes,
us
ma.
have gone digital. You don't use paper and biro, right? So it's what we see. Thank you very much, everyone. So even if you don't have your paper and biro, you have your phone to record, or you have your phone that you can give a digital writing. I want all of us to have something to write. And then when we come back again to discuss, a lot of us would have been able to say this webinar has helped me to refocus, to rethink, and to readdress my career path. And now I know what next to do. And so that's the reason for this. We do not want anybody to have issues going forward. Yeah, somebody showed me an IT paper writing. So thank you so very much. I'm not going to take your time. Mine is an opening remark to let you know that this webinar is very, very crucial to all of us. We must listen, we must learn, we must ask questions, because henceforth, if we have to go and do our masters, I don't want anybody calling me I was rejected. I applied to 2-3 universities. I want you to apply to 2-3, get your admission, and of course, be able to access scholarship. We want to build our career path. We want to do well. So once again, I thank you all for joining this call, and I wish all of us a very, very wonderful deliberation. Please, let's talk about what we have learned after this. God bless you as you listen, and we'll come back again to say, yes, we have made it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
And
much.
I want to say thank you to Madam President for giving us this opportunity. She's been so passionate about the growth of young engineers. And like I said, she gave this to us as our new terms of one of the new terms of reference for 2025. So please, let's give it a good appreciation to Madam President for always thinking of the young engineers. Thank you, Madam President. God bless you.
Thank you very much, the chairman of the International Relations Committee of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Valerie Agbiragba, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, for that wonderful and inspiring introductory remarks. She has indeed remained a constant source of inspiration and encouragement to our young and vibrant engineers. At this point, it is my honor to invite the chairman of today's webinar, our own distinguished president and chairman in council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the first female president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina Oguntela, to deliver our remarks. The distinguished engineers and esteemed participants, please join me in welcoming our president. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Yusuf Abdulrazak, the moderator of this event. I'd like to start by recognizing vice presidents on the call, national exco members who are on the call, both present and past. So let me even just add everybody together, past, present, and future leaders and exco members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. The chairman, NSC Glasgow branch, Engineer Segun Olarinoye. The chair, International Relations Committee of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Valerie Agbiragba, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. Distinguished fellows on the call, my very ever vibrant young engineers and future leaders, our guest speakers of the day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly delighted to join you today as the chairman of this all-important and timely webinar, organized through the collaborative efforts of the NSC International Relations Committee, the NSC Glasgow branch, and the ever-vibrant Young Engineers Forum of Nigeria, ably led by the national coordinator, my distinguished council member, Engineer Adenike Sandra Ajayi, Let me first commend these teams for their commitment to thought leadership and for creating valuable platforms for knowledge exchange and professional development. Only last month, YEFoN led discussions on the critical topic of financial intelligence, especially in relation to the development and growth of emerging engineering professionals. And the collaboration that we are witnessing today is one that has been long overdue. But I'm very glad that having charged the International Relations Committee with this task, they have taken the bull by the horn, and now we have this great collaboration that I'm sure will yield very, very positive results in the area of empowering our young engineers and enlightening them on how to chart their professional, educational, and indeed entire future. Today, I'm pleased to see that YEFoN has again taken the initiative by joining forces with other entities for this important and strategic webinar. And I'm very impressed because it also shows great focus and an alignment with the strategic agenda of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. The theme of today's webinar, Unlocking Your Potential, Navigating Master's Programs and Scholarships with a Growth Mindset, is both timely and impactful. A glance at our NSC strategic agenda highlights how significantly this topic resonates with our current priorities, particularly our commitment to capacity building. We clearly articulated our intention to train a huge number of members across all membership categories. And this includes targeted programs designed to equip our members with the skills and knowledge required to thrive in today's ever-evolving technological advancement. These training initiatives cover key emerging technologies, including, but not limited to artificial intelligence, robotics, process and automation, renewable energy, cybersecurity, Internet of Things, blockchain technology, building information modeling BMI, data analytics, smart grid technology, amongst other critical areas, and of course, digital transformation in engineering processes. In addition, strategic partnerships are being established and formed every day with organizations that provide scholarship opportunities, learning and internship opportunities as well for postgraduate students, for studying for undergraduate students, and indeed for fresh graduates. Our overarching goal is to build a sustainable pipeline of highly skilled, innovative, and industry-ready engineering professionals who will contribute meaningfully to national and global development. So why does this webinar matter? We wholeheartedly welcome this webinar as it seeks to address both the opportunities and the potential challenges involved in pursuing postgraduate education. And that's why it's very important that we're having it. I'm confident that this session will offer practical insights that will empower our young engineers and even some senior professionals to undertake their academic and career journeys more strategically and successfully, like the Chair International Relations has stated. At this junction, I'd like to appreciate our distinguished guest speakers for making time out of their busy schedules to be part of today's event. Your commitment to sharing knowledge and mentoring the next generation of engineers is deeply commendable and appreciated. And here is my charge to the great young engineers and future leaders of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I'm encouraged by your enthusiastic participation. When the Chair International Relations Engineer Agbiragba was speaking, we had 117 participants on the call. Now we have 131, and we are still counting. That shows commitment to growth. And that is what all that is required for growth, commitment, and passion. Your presence here today is a clear demonstration of your commitment to personal growth, as I've said, lifelong learning, and professional excellence. I urge you to engage actively and make the most of this opportunity. You don't get this every day, and it's being delivered to you. Maybe not on a platter of gold, but on something very similar. Let me now use this opportunity to remind you all of the upcoming 2025 NSC International Engineering Conference and Annual General Meeting, which is scheduled to hold between the 1st and 5th of December 2025 at the International Conference Center of the University of Ibadan, Oyo State. The theme of the conference is Engineering Innovation for a Sustainable Blue Economy. As I mentioned during the August 23rd event, this conference is our flagship annual gathering and the largest engineering convergence in sub-Saharan Africa. I strongly encourage you to register and make arrangements to attend. It promises to be a week of insightful sessions, exhibitions, networking, and growth opportunities. For full details, please visit the conference website, or better still, use your membership app to access information, registration, and payment of your subscription. On this note, I'd like to declare the webinar open, and I hope that today, at the end of today, we shall all be better informed on how to chart a good path for our future. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, our distinguished President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Chairman of today's webinar, the trailblazing first female President of our great society, for your inspiring speech and word of encouragement. Your leadership has indeed been marked by the rebirth of the NSC, driving growth, empowerment, and the advancement of engineering practice in Nigeria and beyond. Thank you very much, ma. Let me introduce and recognize some of our leaders that also join us for today's webinar. In our midst, we have the National Deputy Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Highway Technology, Highway Engineering, Engineer Dr. Bola Mudashiru, FNSC. Also in our midst, we have the chairman.
Moderator, please. We want to do this program in 2 hours. So we don't have, you have done recognitions in the beginning. We have done recognition of all guests. Please. Okay. No more recognitions. Let's go straight to the business.
Thank you very much, Madam President. At this point, I will graciously yield the floor to my co-moderator to formally welcome and introduce our first speaker for today's session.
Thank you, Engineer Abdulrazak. It's a privilege to co-moderate this event with you. We are going straight into the program as I'm going to welcome our first speaker. Is no other person but Engineer Dr. Kenechi Omeke. Engineer Dr. Kenechi Omeke is a senior data scientist from the Office for the National Statistics and Researcher at the University of Glasgow, and he is also the current Technical Secretary of NSC Glasgow branch. Please join me welcome engineer Dr. Kelechi Omeke for his presentation. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Kelechi.
Thank you very much, Engineer Male. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can hear
loud
you
and
loud
clear,
and
sir.
clear.
Thank you. Can you enable screen sharing, please, NSC HQ? Or alternatively, make me a co-host. While they are getting that sorted, good morning, Madam President and Chairman in Council of the NSC, Engineer Margaret Oguntala, FNSC. Permit me, please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to stand on existing protocol. We've lost a bit of time and we'll have a lot to get through. So without further ado, welcome to this webinar. And a lot has already been said about this topic, and I'm glad to be here to share my experiences with you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we
Yes.
can see engineer. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Let's get on with it then. Okay, so thanks to the International Relations Committee, the Young Engineers Forum committees and leaders, and our own branch for putting this together. So before I get started, I would like to talk about, how am I qualified to do this? I think we did not have time to go through the citation. So I did both my master's and PhD in the UK. My master's was at the University of Manchester, and I did my PhD at the University of Glasgow. So both were funded through international scholarships. My master's was funded by the Nigerian Technology Development Fund, NITDEF, administered by NITDA, and my PhD was funded by PTDF. I've also been a partner in an international consultancy, just helping young people like most of our young engineers to secure and access international postgraduate opportunities. The company is no longer in existence. Other commitments overran it, but I've had a bit of experience helping. We had almost 100% success rate for the people that came to us for help then, and I've also spoken at a lot of similar forums, including a number of them this year. Last month I spoke in person at the University of Nairobi in Kenya, talking to young people who are also seeking international opportunities. And I regularly do this, get invited to universities here in the UK as well. Even last week I had one from the University of Glasgow, inviting me to come and speak to industry professionals in this case who are assessing a unique kind of PhD programs that they just rolled out for them. So without further ado, this is what we'll be looking at this morning. We'll first of all look at how you find scholarships, and a bit of background about how international education maybe differs a bit from our Nigerian education. We'll look at the types of scholarships that are available, the timelines, and when you need to start preparing, which is right about now or even before now if you're looking to come to the UK or to go somewhere abroad in 2026. And then the crux of our presentation will be spending a lot of time looking at how you craft winning applications, how you prepare yourself so that you stand out among the hundreds of thousands and potentially millions that are seeking the same opportunities as yourself. And then there are country-specific requirements because there are we're talking about 200 plus countries here. We will not be able to go through every country. So I will mostly be speaking about the UK, which is one of the top destinations for Nigerians wanting to study abroad. We'll also look at some common mistakes that applicants make, and some of the guidelines for when you're preparing to travel, when you have secured both admission and hopefully a scholarship to pay for your studies. So throughout this presentation, I might not be able to keep an eye fully on the chat, but please, could I ask that young engineers who are with us, if you're planning to travel abroad for your program, you can put the details. I will be giving examples. If you can put the course you've studied and the course you want to study. If you have the country in mind, please put it in the chat. I'll be taking examples so that we'll be having a live session, pretty much like analyzing if you're an intending candidate. We'll be using you as an example. We don't need your name, just your course you studied and what you're hoping to go study abroad, if that works. If you know the school, then that's fine. Right. Why do people want to go and study abroad? And this is some of the previous speakers. The IRC chairperson has already mentioned that sometimes it's not just young engineers. It could also be engineers who are already practicing and want to improve their skills or want to have a change. So, there are several reasons. It could be personal, it could be professional growth, to have global experience, and could be for networking. It's often said that you meet more people, you meet more, you're potentially going to meet more diverse, more diverse Nigerians or Africans in London than you can actually do in any other place. So this is a melting pot for networking with high caliber professionals and people. So sometimes people take a career break and just go abroad, go to a prestigious school, maybe do an MBA or do a master's degree program, because it connects them with people of like mind. Some of them who are captains of industry as well from different parts of the world, and they can learn new ways of solving old problems or actually learn new things as well. Academic excellence is because the UK, US, and some other countries have some of the leading universities for some of the programs that engineers tend to want to do. I'll be focusing more. I've spoken with the Young Engineers Forum chairperson, and they've told me that the majority of the people that will be on this call will be targeting master's programs. So I'm going to skip my undergraduate programs. I might talk a bit about PhD opportunities, but again, if you do have questions, hopefully there will be time at the end to ask your questions. Alternatively, you can put your question in the chat, and the moderators will collate all the questions. But we'll try as much as possible to accommodate your questions as we go along.
Yeah,
So,
engineer, sir, thank you so much. You have like 15 minutes to finish your presentation, sir.
okay,
Just to be mindful of time. Thank you.
that's I thought I had 90 minutes.
The program was adjusted, and I was just getting to know that.
Right. Okay. 15 minutes is not nearly going to do justice to this presentation, but hopefully we'll get as far as we can. In that case, I'm going to be skipping
There
lots
will be
of.
opportunity for interactive session later. So
Right.
yes.
Okay. So, in terms of what you'll be needing, you will need your Nigerian passport or international passport because you're planning to travel abroad, and that's your country's identity. You will need a transcript of your bachelor's programs if you're going for a master's, and the bachelor's and master's programs if you're applying for a PhD. You need your degree certificates as well, or your statement of results, and you will need someone that knows you professionally or knows your academic strength to recommend you or write you a reference letter. This is exceptionally important, and is also a good reason to start early to engage with those people. Hopefully, you did not fight with your project supervisor, because they are the ideal person to recommend you, because they know you better than most of your other lecturers. But any lecturer or the head of department can recommend you. If you're traveling to an English speaking country, and some of other European countries that are non-English speaking, but the program is delivered in English, they might ask for proof that you're proficient in English. So you might need to write some English exams, but most universities in Nigeria these days are able to write you letters saying that your program has been taught in English. So you need to still engage with your registry department or the relevant department in your university to obtain such letters. Pretty much every program you'll be doing, you'll be writing something called a statement of purpose or a personal letter or a personal essay where you tell them about yourself beyond what is written in your transcript. And that essay is what they use to judge your suitability for the program that you're applying for. But most of all, you need a growth mindset. You need to have to be curious and to believe that you're actually able to do this. So there are different kinds of scholarships. There are fully funded scholarships like the one given by the PTDF. There are government ones. There's chevening, which is currently on. So for those of you who are on this call, the chevening call is closing by 7th of October. If you're already on that process, then good luck to you. If you're not, then hopefully you're able to get all the things you need together. The Commonwealth one as well, being organized by an arm of the British government, is also currently on. There are other ones, UNESCO, Fulbright scholarships. There are also partial scholarships. So for those of you who can afford some part of the tuition fee, there are those that universities offer discounts for some of them up to 50%, which is a lot of money if you're looking at 20 something thousand pounds for most academic programs. So most of them you will need to have achieved a really good results or written a compelling application essay to be able to access those scholarships. Some of them require that you have full offer of admission. So admission, hopefully, if there's something called conditional and non-conditional offer. Conditional offer means that they've offered you a tentative admission, incumbent on you fulfilling some conditions, such as presenting proof that you can speak and write English, that proof of English proficiency that I've spoken about. There are uncountable other ones. For those who are doing a PhD, you might get research grants or teaching fellowship or teaching assistantships, especially in North America. If you're going to US or Canada, these things are quite common there, that you are offered pretty much a job while you're studying, and then that job helps to pay for your program and for your living expenses. How do you find scholarships? Pretty much you just search the web, but then how do you know which one is which one? That's where social media comes in. You can follow people who blog about these things, previous scholars who can tell you about the merits of different scholarships. It's not everything you see on the web that's published online doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Some of them are swindlers trying to take your money. Most scholarships do not require you to pay some deposit for you to access them. So you should have a red flag immediately if someone is asking you for money to help you access a scholarship. Universities are very generous in publishing scholarships. So if you go to any university website and you look at the international page and you say you're a Nigerian, they will show you the list of scholarships that Nigerians who have come to that university has accessed. It's not every university that has this though. I'm a big fan of Nairaland because it doesn't just, people don't just publish scholarships there. I know that the site has degraded over the past couple of years, but you meet a community of people who are seeking the same thing as you, and you hopefully network with them. And again, what we're doing here with the IRC and the Young Engineers Forum, you are networking with alumni and with professionals. Most of the people who are in the Glasgow branch, for instance, came here to study on scholarships, and if you're able to network with them, engage with them on social media, then hopefully that works for you. So the ideal application timeline is to start when you're in your final year of a bachelor's program if you're going for a master's, or even earlier than that. I say earlier than that because one of the things you require is to have a track record of excellence. So your results is the first thing that speaks for you. If you have a first class, then it shows that, okay, this person is seriously academic minded, and it distinguishes you. If you have a 2-1, that's also a really good result. If you have a 2-2, a lot of universities will be able to offer you admission, but your chances of a scholarship diminishes considerably. So there are key application seasons. Like right now, I've just mentioned that Chevening and Commonwealth scholarships just opened. If you're traveling, planning to travel to North America, that's mostly US and Canada, they tend to start early. And for most universities, your chances improve if you write the graduate record exam, GRE or GMAT, or one of the other English language exams. GRE and GMAT are different. They are aptitude test exams. They are different from the English language ones. And then it might take some time for you to get your Nigerian passport if you don't have one. So ideally, you should start really early. You apply for a passport and then you start applying for those things. And I would say that if you're going to write any of the standardized exams, then you need some time. But the most important preparation you need to do is to have a strong academic profile. So you maintain a high CGPA throughout. You engage with different societies. You have, membership, student membership of the NSE, and you're attending NSE conferences. You're publishing. You're being active. You're not just a linear student who goes from your hostel to your class and then back to your hostel. You're engaging in things because that's how you build leadership skills. If you're the captain of your football team or you're doing other things where you're showing leadership, even if it's in religious organizations or church, mosque, or some other organized group, as long as you're getting people together and leading them, you're volunteering. I can talk a lot about this, but we don't have a lot of time. So securing admission, first of all, you need to research the program you want to study. I've seen, thanks to those of you who have responded with your programs in the chat. Hopefully, when we're doing the interactive session, I might be able to pick up one of your examples and then use that to illustrate how you can go about searching for this. There's like a league, university league, how you rank universities, all the universities in the world. You can rank them overall. This is being published by the QS Times Higher Education. There are so many other ranking bodies, but the QS one is pretty much the most popular. So you can rank universities overall. You will see that universities like MIT, Stanford, Cambridge, Oxford in the UK, and some other universities in Japan, in Switzerland, they always come top 10 every single year. So you can then go break down by program. If you're planning to do electrical engineering, you can see the top university in the world for electrical engineering. You can see the top in mechanical engineering or mechatronics or civil engineering, whatever your course is. And you can also look at, every course that you're planning to study. Maybe you're planning to do MSc in computational fluid flow. You see where their graduates have gone. They always publish those things on their website because that's the thing they are most proud about. The application process is when you look at the course, not just the university, you look at the course, they will normally have what they call entry requirements. Normally, they will require you to have a 2-1 or 2-2 with work experience. So if you have a first class, that means you've already achieved more than the minimum requirements. You'll also see international fees, how much the course costs, and when you're expected to pay that, and then you're normally supposed to write an application essay. So applying pretty much means filling out an application form and then submitting those essays. Remember, you need to submit those recommendation letters or references. Please, in case I don't get to be able to speak about that again, you need to remember that your references must come from the university, a university email address. So if you're applying from FUTMINA, for instance, it needs to be something professor, somebody ab.at futmina.edu.ng. If your referee submits their letter from a Yahoo mail or a Gmail, that's not going to be acceptable. You might need to chase up with the admission committee if required. If you have applied and you've not heard anything for a long time, they usually respond pretty quickly by email. Please make sure that your email is professional. It's engaging them meaningfully, and subject line and everything, so that it doesn't end up in their spam box. I did say that this was where we're going to spend the most of time, but let's see how far we get. So usually when you're writing those application essays, what they want to know is your academic background. What have you studied? If you studied a degree, your first degree in mechanical engineering, and you want to do your master's in electrical power systems, then you need to show that there's a way you connect both of them. Maybe you've spent 2 years working with TCN, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, or maybe you've spent some time working at a power generation station. Then you need to show you've had experience that bridges between the background you have in mech engine and the one you want to do. Alternatively, you need to study something that is related to your bachelor's program. Same thing if you're going for a PhD. If have work experience maybe in the banking sector, then you might want to do something in project management or in financial sector. You just need to show that you have the right background. The reason that's important is because they don't want you to come and struggle. They want people who come and graduate from the program. So you also need to show that you're passionate about this because you have a goal. The IRC chairperson has already spoken about this. But what I would just want to say about this is that, I know that some engineers, you graduate and there are no jobs, but whatever you find yourself doing, please do it exceptionally well because that's what's going to distinguish you in the future. I can, spend hours and hours talking about people who have, established quite successful careers from Nigeria, but we don't have time for that. So you need to show your fit for the chosen program. Fit means that you have the right background, you studied the right course modules that will lead up to, the curriculum you've studied has prepared you to build on top of that. And either you have studied those curriculum or you have work experience that has allowed you to bridge those background. Every university has a culture, and you need to show how how you fit within that culture. The statement of purpose, like I mentioned, that's the application essay that I talked about earlier. Pretty much four things. It will be like, why you, right? Why do you want to study this course? Why do you want to study this course in this university, not some other university, in this city, in this country? So you need to show how you've done your research. Everything about a postgraduate program is research. So why you is where you demonstrate past evidence that you've done something related to this in the past, or you have work experience or professional experience or volunteering experience. If you're going to study something related to software or data science or machine learning or AI, maybe you've contributed to open source code repositories. These are online. You can do it from anywhere in the world. So if you're especially a young engineer that is unemployed at the moment, there are so many places you can volunteer. You can start learning how to code, and then you start contributing to. In fact, that will not only get you a scholarship and a master's program, it will also get you employed because you're building very important skills. So if you have had an award or contribution to recognized projects, or you volunteered, those are pretty good examples. Something like about why this course. This was an application essay that I wrote to a university in Germany, and no saying that this got funded. Hopefully, when you see the recording, I'm not going to read this out, but what this shows you is that you've done your research, you've recognized the need for that particular course that you want to go and study, and you've now created an application that addresses that need. The same here. This is for a program in clinical and public health at University College London, which I helped to someone to kind of put together a couple of years ago. Again, you've done your research. You show that your country needs the program that you want to go and do. There are lots of examples here. This was University of Manchester. This was way back about 11 years ago. This again, there are lots of examples here. So I'm not going to go through all of this. But why you, right? Why you says that, oh, I have the right background in this. I've done some internships. I've done some volunteering. I've studied the courses that are necessary for this course. Not only that, I've been following your lecturers. I've been following, because every course and every department always share their professionals, their lecturers, their academic pedigree on their website. You can see everything about some of the lecturers everything about them on the website. You can read their papers, you can engage with them, you can send them an email. In fact, if you are proactive, it will be the department themselves that actually invite you to apply for their program. In fact, you have seen lecturers reaching out to prospective students, telling them that we'll have some funding and if they will be interested in coming to study with them. Because as you're looking for good universities to go and do your program, good universities are always seeking for exceptional candidates because those candidates bring up the profile of the university. So this is another example about why you. So the other one is why this university. Why do you want to come to this city? if you're coming to the UK, for instance, and you're interested as a young engineer in in technology and you want to work in the industry, a city like Cambridge, for instance, is like the industrial hub of the UK. A city like Edinburgh here in Scotland is also an industrial hub because that's where all the Google, all the big tech companies, Meta, everybody is there. So what it means is that as you're studying,
Hello,
there's
yeah.
potential for you to undergo an internship or to do placement at some of those locations, and also to interact with engineers and other professionals in the industry because you meet them at cafes, wherever you turn up, in restaurants and in other events that you go to. So you can say that, yeah, you're wanting to come to England, even if not to Cambridge, because that gives you proximity to those industrial hubs. If you go to Germany, it's the same thing. There are industrial hubs. If you go to Netherlands, for instance, Eindhoven is a tech hub of Netherlands. If you go to US, everybody knows about California and Silicon Valley, and then you go to Boston on the other side of the coast. So these are information that you can easily find out. Every university is proud of some of their heritage. So when you're talking about this University of Manchester boasts almost 30 Nobel Prize winners. So if you just mention that, it shows you've done your research. If you say that University of Glasgow, you're coming to study economics, I mean, this is the home of Adam Smith. Every single university, every single course has something they are proud of. Find that thing they are proud of, reference it in your application. If you're coming to study because there are particular lecturers, well, I came to Glasgow, I had offers from Manchester and from London before I came here, but because I was following a particular professor, and not just a particular professor, I was also following a particular Nigerian professional, Dr. Yusuf Sambo, who introduced me to this professor. I knew about these people before I came here. I had followed them, I had engaged with them, I had cited their research in my own publications before then. So if I mentioned this, immediately I reached out, they were pretty much the ones helping me to make sure that I prepare my application in accordance with the university requirements. Please do your research. Okay, why this university? Yeah, this is some kind of example. I've just been informed that my time is over. So for those of you, I'm hoping that you are able to get a scholarship. But if you're being self-sponsored, then there are documents you might need to prepare, proof of funds, or if your uncle is funding you, please don't go and do something unbecoming and taint your image and those of Nigeria. I'm not going to be able to go through all of this, but you should rely on yourself and not on others. Don't rush things. And number one thing that I should have mentioned in the beginning is please be a good ambassador of Nigeria. Our reputation has been badly battered by people who cut corners and do untoward things just trying to get abroad. Short cuts sometimes tend to be long cuts because it means that you either get rejected for a visa and being banned. We've seen that happen a lot recently. You get a 10-year ban from coming to the UK, for instance, if they discover that you falsified documents or done things. Believe in yourself. Hard work pays. Please work really hard. Do your research and trust in your own abilities to get what you're looking for. We didn't get a chance to talk about this in the beginning, but the NSE Glasgow branch is running a conference next year. And thank you for your time and your attention. And hopefully we'll talk a bit more about some of these things during the interactive Q&A sessions. Thank you for your indulgence. That's it.
Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Kenichi Omeke, for that insightful and impactful presentation. Your session has not only equipped us with practical guidance, but has also enriched us with valuable knowledge that will surely inspire our participants as they navigate their academic and professional journeys, particularly in the areas of scholarship programs. We deeply appreciate your time, your effort, and dedication you have invested in sharing your expertise with us today. At this point, the distinguished guest participants, we shall proceed to the next phase of our program, to the second speaker, and that's to formally introduce our second speaker, that's Engineer Dr. Saliu Lukman. I have the honor of inviting the NUESA President, Mr. Ojo Joshua, to kindly read his citation. But please note that you also have 20 minutes for your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Abdulrazak. Distinguished colleague, it's my honor to introduce Dr. Salihu Lukman, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering at the University of Half Al Batin, Saudi Arabia. He holds a PhD in Environmental Engineering from King Fahad University of Petroleum and Minerals, as well as Master of Science and Bachelor of Engineering degree in Water Resources and Environmental Engineering from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Dr. Lukman has served as head of the Mechanical, Civil, and Chemical Engineering Department at Half Batin and has been active on numerous committees in curriculum program assessment, accreditation, and research. He is a current registered engineer and a member of several professional bodies, including the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Nigerian Institute of Water Engineer, and the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineering. His research covers groundwater resource, soil and water remediation, containment transport modeling, water waste treatment, and environmental risk analysis. He has authored more than 40 peer-revised papers, book chapters, and conference proceedings with over 579 citations. He is also widely respected for pioneering electrokinetic adsorption techniques for saline sodic soil remediation. Dr. Lukman has received several awards for his teaching, research, and contribution to engineering, education, and environmental sustainability. He remains committed to mentoring, capacity building, and advancing. Thank you very much. So do well to welcome engineer Dr. Salihu Lukman. Thank you.
Dr. Salih Usman, over to you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Please, Dr. Sali, you need to unmute your. Okay, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear now, sir.
Okay.
I hear you.
You're welcome, sir.
The NSC president, NSC vice president, and the International Relations Committee, the NSC Glasgow chairman and the YEFoN chairman, other distinguished engineers, fellows, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Is my screen shared?
Not yet, sir.
Okay.
Yes, we can see you, sir.
You can see it now?
Yes, I can see you very clearly, sir.
Okay. So let me. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, sir. Not yet, sir.
Not yet, sir. Not yet. Not yet, sir.
Turned off. It's turned off.
Do I need some permission? All parties. What about now?
You have the necessary permission to
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
just go to share screen.
Not yet. Okay, now, not yet.
So I went to the share screen.
Okay, we can. Yeah, it's shared. It's shared.
It went off again.
Okay, it's shared
It
now?
went off again. Oh.
Okay.
No,
What about now?
it's not shared. It's not shared. No. We can only see your face.
Yes, now.
It was on top of transformer.
What happened?
Do I need any permission? Because I want to
And
be sharing all participants, all ticked.
Okay, can you send your presentation to us?
Okay.
Put it on the platform.
Okay.
We'll pick it from there. Fidelis, you can do that, can't you?
That's under the chat. Is it under the chat? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can drop it under the chat.
Okay. Stop it there. Oh, yeah, he hasn't dropped it.
That's how I can drop it.
Just go to chat and click on, you say attachment, and then drop it for everyone.
I didn't only see.
Yeah, click on the plus sign and then you see the attach and then drop.
Doctor, sir, did you manage? Can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat, but
Okay. So when you go to the chat, you click on the plus sign.
By the
or it-
left hand side of the message everyone.
Yeah.
that type message here. Okay.
Have you clicked the plus? When you click the plus, you will see file. Then you select the file that you want to share and then you attach it and send.
Doctor, sir, I sent you a private chat.
like
Can we check
A
if
private chat. That is my phone WhatsApp number.
on his
Just send it
side?
there. You can.
Hello, please, can you, I think it's best to just guide him simply. The best way to do this, please share your screen with him and show what you're saying on the screen. So he sees what you're saying and just follow it up. Please go. Please, thank you. The person that is guiding, please share your screen and then he will see what you're saying on the screen as you share it.
So did you see the private chat I sent to you?
On the chat?
Yes, I sent you a private chat.
Initially, I was trying to send it to the YEFoN coordinator via private chat so that.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do
You
that
can do that
quickly.
also.
Yes.
You can do that. Yeah.
I can quickly do that.
Yes, do that. Then she'll get it across to us.
Yes.
He can also copy and paste the files. It's much quicker that way.
Have we made Dr. Saliu a co-host? That should enable him to share.
Yes, that would be better. That would be better. If you make
So
him
it's
a
already
co-host.
a cost. It's already a cost, but it's just finding it difficult to share his screen. That's why we are trying to seek for other options.
Would it be okay to start addressing some of the
Can you
questions?
check if Engineer Kenneth has stopped sharing? Then maybe because he hasn't stopped sharing on his side, that he won't be able to share. So
No,
can we
yeah,
confirm that?
I've stopped sharing,
yeah,
yeah.
I've stopped, man.
All
Yes.
right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Do we want to start taking some of the questions in the chat while we wait for
Maybe
the...
while you do that, but can you send the presentation to
I
anyone?
shared it to the YEFoN coordinator.
Yes. Nika, please share your screen or send it to Abdirazak to share. But in the meantime, we can look at questions from Engineer Kenneth's presentation so we save time. Madam President, sorry, with your permission, can we do that while we are waiting?
We've got the document now. We'll share and start.
All right, Madam
We don't
President.
want him to also lose the train of thoughts by doing something else.
That's all right, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, your presentation is
Yes,
up.
sir. Yes,
Yes,
you can
we
proceed
have
now,
it
sir.
now.
Okay. Trying to maximize.
You may start now, Doctor.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
And your 20 minutes will start now.
Okay. I will try as much as possible to see that I deliver within the 20 minutes. My name is Salih Lukman, as earlier mentioned, and I came to the Kingdom here 2010 to do my PhD at the Kimfad University of Petroleum and Minerals, where I obtained a scholarship, and I finished in 2013, then got employed by the University of Kimfad as Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering, and has been working for the past 11 years. So over the time, I have been talking about scholarship opportunities because the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is, one of the scholarship destination for Nigerians. So since 2017, I have been talking on radio interviews, webinars like this, as well as writing about scholarship opportunities for Nigerians. So this is just one of my numerous scholarship talks that I would like to do, and it gives me pleasure to talk to the young engineers about scholarship opportunities in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, and then the documentation that needs to be checked. Saudi Arabia, as we have seen, is one of the Middle Eastern countries. There are many other countries, the Arab nations, the UAE, Qatar, Oman, and what have you. But then I have realized that about 90 to 95% of scholarship students from Nigeria get admission in Saudi Arabia. So that's why I will, target mainly the Saudi Arabian scholarship system, what are needed and what have you. Go back to the previous slide, please. Go back to the previous slide. I will be telling you when to move to the next slide because I need to make some points here before we move on. So here in Saudi Arabia, they have numerous government universities. In fact, one cannot just come and study in the kingdom except on scholarship if it's government universities. That's one thing. It's unlike other countries where if you have money, you can go and you can buy, you can pay and study. But here, the government universities, you have to get scholarship as an expatriate for you to be able to study. So for that, there are numerous, top universities here. The foremost of them is the Kimfad University, the KFUPM, which has a QS ranking of 67, and the first in the Middle East and Africa by the Times Higher Education, as well as 5th in US patents. So it is really a very big and competitive university with good research culture and scholarship and all that. So a lot of Nigerians are there. They have studied, while some are studying there and some are still working there. Then you have another one, King Saud University, whose QS ranking is 143, King Abdulaziz. These are the 3 foremost universities that offer scholarship at master's and PhD level. I will combine the master's and PhD level together because currently at KFUPM, if you have a BS, then you have to apply for master's to PhD direct instead of master's, then PhD. So you have to apply direct, master's to PhD, which takes 5 to 6 years instead of applying master's separately, after which you apply for PhD. So I will sort of try to combine the two as much as I can, and then for other details, I will leave them during the discussion session. So like I mentioned, KFUPM is the #1 that offers the admission scholarship to students. It is like an engineering school with strong engineering background and research institute, facilities, and all that, followed by King Saud University and King Abdulaziz University. Then you have the Islamic University of Medina, which used to offer only Arabic and Islamic courses. But now they have, engineering college, they have computer science college, they have science colleges that also offer scholarship to Nigerian students. So the IUM is one university also that is a hub for many Nigerians. Many Nigerians are studying at IUM. Then you have also the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. Why did I mention the ranks of this university? Because one of the tips, as also highlighted by the first speaker, Dr. Omeke, is the fact that you should look for a high-ranked university. That is very, very important. And he also mentioned the QS and the THE. So there are scholarship opportunities every year. And of course, like I will highlight some of them in some of these universities, like for the 2016, you have the KFUPM, but the deadline for the admission has passed because it started somewhere in March and ended in July, if you look at this advert. For the PhD, but then usually they open the admission portal for twice per year because they do admit every semester. So despite the fact that of this year, the deadline is 31st July, they will open soon, towards the end of the year, around October, November. So those that want to apply can watch out and look at the benefits, the eligibility criteria, which I will discuss in details as we move on. But then there are some mistakes that is in this where they mention that the GPA is the minimum GPA is 2.5 out of 4. It's actually 3 out of 4. That is the minimum, which I will highlight. And then, of course, there is the English proficiency test, like the IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, which I will also highlight as we move on. The next one, you also have, this is for the King Abdulaziz University as well, which, they will highlight the benefits. Of course, their own is full scholarship. All the time. It is always full scholarship, which covers everything, living expenses. They will give you like a research assistant in which you will be working, as well as you have the opportunity to work in, cutting edge researches that are taking place, and you will be paid extra for participating in any research that is ongoing. So you have full scholarship covering your travel ticket, your living expenses, your books, and all that. And then you have the opportunity also to earn more. Yeah, you have the opportunity to earn more if you work in other research that is going on. So it's actually full package, full scholarship. And this is for all the universities in the kingdom. The next slide, please. Yeah, this is another opportunity in King Abdulaziz University as well. Highlighting the eligibility criteria, the benefit, and all that. Next one. This is another one for KAUST, the KAUST Postgraduate Scholarship. Also here they highlight the English proficiency, cut-off points, IELTS, TOEFL, PT, Academic, Cambridge English, as well as lingua skill. Next. This is for the Islamic University of Medina. But then initially, Saudi Arabia do not offer scholarship at undergraduate level more often than not. But like 3 years back, they opened all their public universities also. Expatriates can be admitted into all their public universities at undergraduate level. So they created something called Study in Saudi Arabia, which is a portal created by the Ministry of Education, a unified portal where applicants can apply for both undergraduate and postgraduate courses. Well, they will create like a profile, sign in, upload their documents, select the courses they want to study, select the universities that they want to study. And if they fulfill the criteria, then they will get admitted at either undergraduate or postgraduate. For postgraduate, more often than not, individual universities, they have their application portals. So you have the option of either applying through this portal, Study in Saudi, managed by the Ministry of Education, or going to the individual universities application portal and apply. That is for postgraduate studies. For undergraduate, more often than not, you have to apply through the study in Saudi Arabia, even though some few universities do have their respective application portals, but mostly they go through the study in Saudi Arabia. Even the university I work here, the University of Afro-Batin, I went to the admission and registration deanship, and they told me that any applicant has to go through the study in Saudi Arabia. And the university I work here also, we have Nigerians that are studying at undergraduate level who came via the same scholarship. Next slide, please. Yeah, now this is for Saudi Arabia. Like I mentioned, I concentrated on the Saudi Arabian scholarship because, like I mentioned, it takes care of about 90 to 95% roughly of all, Nigerian scholars coming to the Middle East, but also there are other Middle Eastern countries that offer scholarship. Like you have the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies, you have also the Qatar University, you have some universities in the UAE, and maybe a university in Qatar, Bahrain, and probably Egypt. But this, you may still find some Nigerians getting scholarship, but very few, very few. So that's why I did not, talk more about them. But just so you know, they also offer scholarship. So go and look for them, because most of these countries, they are very small countries. Usually they may have just one public university. So you can go to their portal, look at the opportunities, scholarship opportunities, the criteria and everything, and then you can apply. Next slide. Now, what are the application requirements? I want to take each one briefly and talk about them given the time constraints that I have. The first one is the age limit. Here in the kingdom, there is age limit for application for for either undergraduate, master's, and PhD. Undergraduate, usually 17 to 25 years. The master's usually up to 33 years, and then PhD, I think maximum of 35 years. So that age limit is very vital. And then you have to have your international passport. Your passport has to be ready. It is a mandatory document that you must have at the point of application. So you must have your passport ready, because it is like the legal way of identification here. So you must have your passport ready. The first speaker also mentioned passport. And then the English proficiency test is also mandatory document, especially for the postgraduate students. You must have either test of English as a foreign language, or IELTS conducted by the UK, or Duolingo, which is now like a new test. Duolingo is cheaper because all these are, you pay dollars to take them. And with the dollar, rate, although now it's slightly crashing, but still when you convert into Naira, you will realize that the money is somewhat big. So Duolingo is the cheapest, and you can take it at your home. At your home, you have internet, you have to put camera to monitor you without necessarily having to go to any test center. I took my TOEFL, I think in Kaduna. I live in Zaria, and GRE can give you additional age. It's not mandatory now, but when I came, it is mandatory. I took GRE before I came. GRE, it takes, there are two sections. There is English section and the mathematics section. The English section is for a graduate, so it's really tough, whereas the mathematics section is expected, is to the level of high school graduate, that's secondary school graduate. The same thing with IELTS and TOEFL. TOEFL and IELTS, their standard is to the level of high school graduate, secondary school graduate. That is the level. But GRE, the English is really tough. But now, most of the schools, they have waived it. They only look at either if you have TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. But if you have GRE, that could serve as an added advantage for you. Yeah, it could serve as an added advantage in a world where you have competition. The scholarship opportunities are extremely competitive. So you have to distinguish yourself. So anything that will make you stand out, that will serve as an added advantage for you. So GRE is not compulsory now, but like I mentioned, if you have it, it could serve as an added advantage. I remember when I took my GRE back then, some universities from the States, wrote me, because based on your score, you can have some universities writing to you to apply for their scholarship opportunities. So some universities wrote to me, I started applying, and then I got the admission at KIMFAD, and I joined. Now, another thing that the English proficiency test is mandatory document. So if you don't have it, don't even bother apply. Don't even bother apply, because that is a mandatory document. It is the only thing that will tell them that, yes, your English level is good, even though you might have passed WYEC at A1 level. But this is international, standardized test. TOEFL administered by the US, IELTS by the UK. So this is international standardized test. So this is the only test they accept as to verify your English proficiency. Now the CGPA level as well. This is scholarship. So definitely you have to stand out. They want to invest in someone that has, some future, that has already stood out of his peers. So it's very high. They demand 3 out of 4 CGPA, which is 3.7, not 37, it's 3.75 out of 5, please. It's not 37.5. It is typo error. It is 3.75. 3.75 out of 5, which is a 2-1. Of course, 2-1 starts from 3.5. So this means like a higher grade 2-1. But this is, even if you qualify, even if you have 3.75 out of 5, that does not guarantee you a scholarship slot. So if you have better CGPA, the better the CGPA, the better for you, the better opportunity you have. Let's say first class, 4.5, 4.6, 4.8, 4.9. 4.2, even if it's 2-1, let it be a strong 2-1, because there is high competition. There is exceptionally high competition because of, the scholarship package that they offer. So the better the CGPA, the higher the CGPA, the better for you. And then the statement of purpose, I will not take any time here. The first speaker has done justice to it. You should go and read all the samples that he posted, because this is your personal narrative that shows not only what you have achieved, but also who you are and where you are headed. Who you are, what you have achieved, who you are, and where you are headed. These are the 3 components of the statement of purpose. So look at the samples, understand them, and I realize some students, they will write me. Let's say if I give a talk on scholarship, some will now try to write me, like to write them statement of purpose. I cannot. You have to be the one to give your own personal narrative. You have to understand it. You have to understand how to write it, and write it well, because that can enhance your chance of getting scholarship. Recommendation letters, very important. It's also one of the mandatory documents. Now, what I will mention is that when you submit someone's name here, normally what they do, when you submit the names of the referees, they will contact them personally, give them a link where they will go and fill the recommendation online. They will grade you, your performance, this first 1%, 2%, 5%, like that. So you have to follow up with your referee to ensure that he actually received the recommendation request and he filled it. You have to follow up, very important. If they don't receive it, that could lead to your disqualification. So this is very important. And of course, like the first speaker has mentioned, you have to ensure that you give the names of the lecturers that you have good rapport with, okay? Not those that will mark you down for any reason. Maybe you are not in good terms with them and all that, okay? So, and it has to come from your own teachers, your own lecturers. Some students write to me to give them referees report when I don't even know them from Adam. Some I might have known them, but I haven't taught them. I cannot give you recommendation. This is academic recommendation. If it's job recommendation, then you can recommend someone you know about his personality, character, and all that. But this is academic recommendation. They are going to recommend your academic prowess. So it's only those that have taught you that can do that. That is very important. The deadline is very important. You have to understand that once the deadline is passed, that is all. And the application is completely online. There is no follow-up. There is no follow-up. I cannot follow up for anyone, even though I am in the university that person might have applied. It's completely online. So you have to satisfy all the requirements, fulfill, upload all the mandatory documents and all that. And then they will be highlighting you of the progress. They'll be telling you about the progress as the time proceeds. So deadlines are very important. And then publications, are they needed? while they may not be required for the application, but they can boost your chances of getting accepted. They can boost your chances. If you have, from your undergraduate, we all did research, during our undergraduate project. So try to see what you can publish. Is it a conference paper, a seminar? Is it a journal paper? You can do that. And then for PhD, you did masters. So at least you have some research, good research exposure. Try to publish and publish, at least, in the in ISI, the Web of Science, okay? Get some good quality publications that could boost your chances, okay? Because like I told you, the scholarship is extremely competitive. So now, having talked about that, there are numerous, there are other webinars on scholarship that have been organized by one of the alumni of KFUPM by name of Dr. Yakubu Wudil. So he formed this Arewa Youth Mentorship Program, where similar to this webinar, he invites experts in various areas and talk about various scholarship processes in other countries. One of them you can see the scholarship jobs, immigration processes in Germany, scholarship opportunities, application process in the UK, PTDF, expert tips, admission processes in the US, South America, and continental and Brazil. So these are, other scholarship, webinars similar to this one that I will suggest that you can also benefit from. Watch them, see what you can take. Okay.
Please, sir, we have 2 more minutes, sir.
Okay, move to the next slide, please. Now, talking about mindset. Mindset is the way of thinking and their opinions, a person's way of thinking and their opinions, a mental attitude or inclination. Because the topic says, navigating scholarship opportunities with growth mindset. So we need to understand that mindset. I left it at the end, not because it is the last, but not the least, of course. So mindset is talking about, some kind of our personality to life. But then growth mindset could be a little bit different because it is about enhancing your abilities and intelligence through effort, learning, and persistence. 3 things: effort, learning, and persistence. And this will tell you more about your grit. Now, how do we do that? Seeing challenges as opportunities, because you can apply and get rejected, you will still endeavor, do it again. Look at other opportunities, okay? Continuous learning. Talent alone is not enough. No matter how brilliant you are, you may be genius, but you need these, components. You need to be very hardworking, resilient, and be able to adapt to new academic system, to make new connections. Growth mindset. I summarize it. I can learn from my mistakes. I can improve by working hard. I will never give up. I am determined to do my best. Self-reflection will help me succeed. I can overcome challenges with effort. I can train my brain. So these points, take these growth mindset points, digest them, and definitely they will make you a better individual. Next slide, please. Now, growth mindset, I talk about mindset, growth mindset, but then there is the other side of the coin, which is research mindset. Time will not be enough to allow me expatiate more on research mindset, but I will refer you to one of my presentations I made to the postgraduate students at Ahmad Bello University during their orientation, where I talked about research mindset, which is the other side of the coin. Growth mindset is one, and then the other one is research mindset. If you get the admission now, what is now your research mindset? Because postgraduate training is all about research. It's all about research. So how do you inculcate the right research mindset in you? There are 2 things here. One is openness. Openness is one of the big 5 personality model traits. If we go back to psychology, because mindset is having to do with psychology, the psychological state of your mind. So openness, go and learn about openness. You need to score high on the openness, where you are open to novel approaches. You can create and innovate and explore new opportunities. You need to score high on openness. That will help you. That will help your research mindset. And then you need to look out for serendipitous findings. What do we mean? Serendipity. Serendipity, you are doing something and then you get some other result that you didn't set out to look for. Like I mentioned, I took a whole 1 hour to explain research mindset. If you're interested, you can go and watch it, and then that will now, give you the complete, you have the growth mindset, and then you have the research mindset. Next.
Okay. Hello.
Next slide. Thank you for listening. I hope I didn't go beyond the 20 minutes I was given.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for that wonderful presentation. It was very rich and informative. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And this time we'll be heading straight to the interactive section. This first speaker has spoken and the second has spoken. We have a couple of questions in the chat box, and we'll be giving time for others to also ask questions. And I'm made to understand that this interactive session is going to be for 15 minutes. So we'll quickly go with some questions in the chat box and give room for comment and also questions from the audience.
Mr. Moderator, I would like to invite Engineer Sharafaddin Olumo to coordinate this aspect of the session.
Okay, thank you, Madam
Yes.
President.
Engineer Sharafaddin Olumo is a member of the International Relations Committee. So please coordinate this interactive session.
Good morning, my president. It's a great honor to be part of this session. It's wonderful and very insightful and educative. I appreciate all our presenters. As the president has said, please permit me to skip the protocol while I go straight to the appointed task so that we will maximize our time. So, and moderator, please, you give us that timekeeping such that we will be within the time. Appreciably, we probably might allocate time to the question and answer session equally, such that we will maximize the time. So having said that, I will appreciate my chairman, Engineer Valerie Ifekwa-Gbera by FNSC, who has been leading with a very good example, and we are following. We appreciate her. And this particular subcommittee, which is the professional development, I think it's one thing the NSC should sustain. So I am checking the chat box now. Hello?
We can hear you.
We can hear you,
Okay.
sir.
Please, can you identify by raising up your virtual hand such that we can give you the chance to speak the questions you have in mind? Who are among the participants? Now, I've not seen any virtual hand up here. Perhaps, moderator, you can alert me if you see any. Okay, I can see Dada Razak. Dada Razak, please unmute yourself. Ask your question within 30
Good morning,
seconds.
Doctor.
Yeah,
Good morning,
go ahead.
Doctor. Thanks for the I want to ask that for the master's program, do they have all these professional masters or all these terminal master that is not inclined towards lecturing, or because most of the masters, they are research, and there's a professional master that is just for professionals, just to upgrade and have an overview of the latest happening in their field. So do we have that kind of a university that offer that kind of a professional masters or terminal masters? Not because it's not everybody that is necessarily in the lecturing or all this theory work. That's okay. Just do your masters, maybe 1 year or 18 months. Then I have the general latest development in your field or area. Then come back to your career.
Yeah, your question is gotten, Engineer Dada Razak. And that goes straight to Dr. Saliu. Please, let's share your experience within your own space so that Dr. Kenichi Omeketu can share his own professional masters.
Engineer Oluma, please, can
Yes,
we do
ma'am.
this to make it
Yes.
easier for the speakers? Let's take maybe 5 questions, and then they can, yes, because some of them might be related
similar,
or interwoven.
Similar. Yes.
And then
You
the
are right,
moderator can also help harvest the questions on the chat room and send them to the to Engineer Oluma, please.
I've done that, ma. I've sent to his WhatsApp platform.
Yes,
Thank you.
Go and check
so.
your WhatsApp platform.
Okay, sir. Matthew, please. Oluwaseyi. Okay, Matthew. Unmute yourself.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam President. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Please, my question is directed to Dr. Kelechi, and it goes thus. Is it advisable to focus on why looking for scholarship, why searching for scholarship? Is it advisable to focus on one at a time, or based on your own experience, or doing multiple, applications? Looking at the rate of getting some documentation or upgrading and the likes. Is it advisable to focus on one or do
Your question
multiple?
is gotten, Engineer Oluwaseyi Matthew. So please let me quickly take 2 of the ones from the chat box. There is a question from a participant. My name is Esther. I got a partial scholarship this year to the University of Glasgow, but I have to deferred my admission because of funding. How can I get funding? She's asking how she can get funding for a partial scholarship offer from Glasgow. So I think that would be okay for Engineer Kelechi to answer. There's another one from MSc program. The person did not mention his name here. Which university is offering MSc in quality management system? The only one I saw now is found not to be genuine. Kindly help to share the link or connection. That is connection for a university that offers quality management system. So that is another question. So let's take one more before we go back to the to those on virtual hand up. So we have another one. So the second speaker specifically, that is Dr. Saliu Lukman. That question is directed to you. You said a CGPA of 3.7, it is actually 3.75 and above, meaning someone below but still 2.1 can't apply. So that is a direct question to Dr. Saliu. So please, we have 5 now. Can the presenter, please, can you respond? Dr. Saliu respond to the questionnaire who asks the CGPA of 3.7, that which means if anyone has below that but still within the 2.1 can't apply. So that is a direct question. So you can also pick out of the other 4, which one from Dada Razak is professional masters. Is there any university that offers professional masters? Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, for the CGPA requirement, they are very strict on that. Even if it's 3.74, I have said 3.74, they will not accept. So you have to satisfy that minimum requirement, or else that will be an automatic rejection. And then about professional masters, yes, they offer professional masters and you can apply. There are many professional masters, especially now with the coming of AI-related courses and all that. There are numerous professional masters. So let me allow the first speaker.
The first speaker can respond to the case of multiple scholarship.
Yeah.
Okay, Matthew asked for if there are opportunities for multiple scholarship.
Thank you for the question. That one is easy to answer. Most of the scholarships have the similar requirements. So actually, the wider you spread your net, the higher your chances of catching something. But I think I understand where you're coming from because you require your referees at least to write you multiple recommendations. I had offers from 10 universities, conditional offers from 10 universities when I applied for my master's in 2014. But my supervisor quickly said, no, I cannot write you 10 recommendation letters. You need to choose your top four. And that was what I did. I chose the ones that, the top four, and she wrote me recommendation letters for them. So it depends on the relationship you have with your recommenders because that's usually the weakest link in that whole chain. You can write multiple application essays because the requirements are similar. For the person that has a partial scholarship from the University of Glasgow, congratulations to you. How you get a scholarship, how you get funding is pretty much the same thing we've been speaking about since. Find some other sources of scholarship that offer partial scholarships or full scholarships. Like have, partial funding doesn't mean that you cannot apply for full scholarship. The fact that you have been assessed by the university and granted admission as well as a partial scholarship means that you're a strong applicant. So put in some more energy, do some research like Dr. Salifu has told you about, maybe try and publish a paper, try and improve your chances, keep volunteering, keep doing something professional so that you improve your chances. Since you've deferred it to next year, it means that all the scholarship options available from this year to next year are open to you. So you are actually a better contender than most of the applicants. The person that asked about MSc in quality management,
Quality management system, yeah.
the thing is sometimes courses might have different names. So if you want to study an MSc, I've already shared in the chat a link because I just did a Google search. I removed the system in the end because if you make the course name more specific, if a university doesn't have a course that matches that specific set of names, then your search might not result in something. So do change, look around a bit and change the way you say. So if you Google MSc in quality management, for instance, you have a lot of options. Then you can look at course breakdown to see if the individual courses or modules fulfill the requirements for what you want to do in your master's. The CGPA one, Dr. Salihu has already answered, but if you do not qualify to apply in Saudi Arabia, there are lots of other countries that take 2-1. So even if your CGPA is less than that, so spread your net, do your research. I've seen 2-2s and even third class. Again, the university just wants people that will come and be able to succeed. So do something exceptional, do something extra to show that despite the result you have, that you have some other things to show for it. You're willing to go the extra mile. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. So please, moderator, I want to find out if this session is being recorded because this is a valuable information that we can't miss out for our prospective applicants and even professional senior engineers that probably might qualify to apply for some of the professional courses. So thank you for that. Now we take the next set of questions. Engineer Kufri Udrosoro, MNSC, please unmute yourself and ask your question in 30 seconds, please. Engineer Kufri Udrosoro, or if he's not there, Abdulhamid Bala
Okay.
Hassan can come on.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
here. I'm
so
here.
Kufri, please go ahead with your question.
Good morning, Madam President, and everybody here present. Okay, my question is, I'm a recipient of a fully funded scholarship, but I have a problem of choice. Is for between a UK, that's Robert Gordon University, and Germany.
You have some music at your background, please, so that we can get your message very clearly. It needs to have some music at your background. Yeah, this is better. Thank you. Go ahead,
Hello.
please.
Okay, so I have a problem of choice. Already, I'm a recipient of a fully funded international scholarship, but a choice between the UK and Germany. So I want to probably ask between the two, precisely on robotics and IT and autonomous systems. So between the two universities, that's the two countries, I just need an advice on which one to go for between the UK and Germany. Thank you.
Okay, your question is gotten. Please, I would like to recognize our very senior engineer on this call, Engineer Kule Adebajo, who has raised his hand. He is the Vice President of Association of Consulting Engineers of Nigeria. Please, I want to, Madam President, with your permission, for him to come on board. Please, Engineer Kule Adebajo, FNSC, please, let's have you.
Thank you very much indeed, and apologies for jumping the queue, but you made me do that. My president and distinguished colleagues on this call, I think this has been a very useful one. I felt I should raise my hand, not because I needed to ask a question concerning the application, but just because very many times I get to counsel younger engineers concerning the whole issue of masters and PhDs and the likes. And the question I always pose to them is, why are you going for a master's or a PhD? And you'll find that 50% of them will say, well, I need a master's. I feel that it's necessary because I just have a bachelor's. And I always have to go a step further to question them that, you know, for me as an employer of labor, I'm looking at engineering now in a very different light from when we were younger and we just felt we had to do masters because it's a next progression. And now engineering is about definitely what you know, what value you can bring, what you can do. And of course, one route is to go and do further education, but it doesn't mean that that is the only route or that that is the natural progression. I was very, very fortunate. I worked for 3 years before going to do my master's. And I can tell you that my university lecturers and everybody else said that was an excellent way to go about it because I knew a bit about the profession. I had got certain skills and then I could now come and further them. So I just want to use this opportunity to also let those who are, I know now there are various reasons for going. One of them, of course, is, well, once I can get there, I can jack back. And others actually feel it is just to get another qualification. I think you need to think hard, look at it. Does this apply to you? Does it apply to your growth path? Some will say definitely. Some others will come to realize that the vocation is more important than just the qualifications. So I bring this little aspect to this webinar as well, that please, by all means, apply. By all means, by God's grace, you'll get it. But really think quite hard about what you see as your own natural professional progression. And that will definitely guide you further in your decisions. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you, Madam President and others.
Our senior, very senior colleagues, we appreciate your wise counseling, and this is also very insightful and useful. So please, Abdulhamid Balasan, can you quickly ask your question? Abdulhamid Balasan, then Nadi Stephen, be on alert. After him, you can come on board before we take one more.
Hello, Madam President, good afternoon. Honorable guest and all my fellow participants, good afternoon.
You can skip the protocol. It's been done on your behalf, please.
Okay, my question is that about the recommendation letters. I used to heard that the doctor was saying about the recommendation letters. I don't know how many recommendation letters one should go and find before applying for a scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you for being precise. Nadi, Stephen, please come on with your question. Is Stephen there? Nadi, Stephen.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Please be brief. Let's have you.
Okay. My question is this. I really appreciate the webinar, the information, the educative webinar that has been organized by NSC. Now, I want to ask, is there any way that, apart from this information, is there any way that an NSC can at least maybe recommend exceptional candidates to all these maybe scholarship program bodies? That is number one question. Then number two is directly to Engineer Dr. Meke, the speaker. You said something about chatting our information about our courses, our intentional courses, and also our choice of schools, if any. So I don't know how far that one will take us to, because some of us have some courses in mind to go and do our masters or PhD, and then the universities in our minds. So is there any other thing that is there any other way that we are going to communicate with him on that? That is the
Okay,
question.
please, that has been gotten, and the moderator has alerted me. We've exceeded our 15 minutes. I don't know if I can take one from those on the chat box so that the what is it called? We can pardon the other contribution from our senior colleague, which took part of our minute. So this candidate is saying, my name is Dennis. My question is, most scholarships do require recommendation. Okay, is it not the same person? Okay, from the head of your department. In my case, we have new HOD, which said it doesn't know me and won't recommend me, whereas the previous one also does no longer have access to be able to stamp and validate it as HOD. And that's serious. So then the next one, good morning all. Good morning all, and thanks for this insightful webinar. My question is, is it advisable to apply for a master's program immediately after the undergraduate study, or first amass experience? I think engineer Kunle Adebayo just answered that just now, or amass some knowledge before going for that. So, but it's up to the presenter to answer that. So I will want first, the initial question to be taken by Dr. Kenechi. Someone asked a choice between Germany and UK. He wants to know which of the two that he would suggest. I mean, you will suggest that he is applying for robotics and some emerging technology courses. So he has gotten the offer already in two countries, Germany and UK. So he wants advice. So
Thank you.
briefly.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and congratulations for having secured having a problem of choice. Both university, I don't know the university you have an offer from in Germany, but Robert Gordon is also is a very good university in Scotland. It's in the north of Scotland. So what I want you to consider is the city in Germany matters a lot. If it's in an industrial hub, you probably might be better off going for that. Autonomous systems and robotics is very well and active in Germany. It's also very well and active in the UK, especially in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is the hub of robotics. They have a robotarium here in the UK, as well as Cambridge. Why I say that is, if you're planning to go to the industry after your master's, then you might want to stay somewhere close to the industry during your funded scholarship. If you finish from somewhere that's far from the industry, you might struggle a bit with having that work experience. So at the end of the day, the choice is really up to you. Germany is not an English-speaking country, so do be aware of that. But if it's an industrial hub, if you're going to somewhere like Munich or Aachen or Berlin, then you might want to make that choice. Again, you can start reaching out to partners or potential employers or companies, robotics companies, and start exchanging emails or ideas, just telling them that you're coming to do this program and you might want to work with them. So the choice at the end of the day is up to you, but do be aware of some of the challenges you might face.
Yeah. Okay, please go ahead with others. Abdulhamid wants to know
how many. Yes, okay, I'll just take the recommendation letters. Usually you just need two, but I highlighted many times that you need to do your research. Every website, every course that you want to study has a website that will tell you entry requirements. It will tell you how many recommendation letters you need. So that's all I can say about that. Can NSC recommend exceptional candidates? Thank God, Madam Chair, our president is here. Madam President is here. But then you also ask yourself, what way does NSC have to scholarship funders, right? NSC will probably not have any influence with Chevening or Commonwealth. These are coming from the British government and most other ones. But for Nigerian scholarship, then NSC might be able to have some influence. But you should also be careful what you're asking NSC to do. That's all I can say about that. Hopefully, Madam President might
Madam
come.
President, will talk more on that.
Yeah.
Someone who has issues with HOD
yes.
exchange.
That's a tricky one. I've already
a very
commented
tricky
in the
one.
chat. I've already commented in the chat. The HOD should be in a position to recommend you whether they know you or not. What you do is present your academic records, your transcripts. If there are lecturers that know you, that's why I've commented in the chat that you need people who have influence with the HOD to be able to plead your case. It's up to them whether they want to recommend you or not. But if they are not able to recommend you, these are some of the challenges. Then you have to find some other strong recommenders, and then hopefully those might hold sway with the university you're applying to. If that doesn't work, then you might need to look at other universities. Going for your master's immediately after your bachelor's or gaining work experience, I echo the fellow that spoke about work experience earlier. Actually, your master's should be needs driven. It means that you're working in the industry and you're trying to tackle a problem. Last time we had a webinar with the Transmission Company of Nigeria. They were talking about deploying IoT solutions and SCADA. This is an emerging technology that we're just beginning to use. If you're in that industry and you work 2-3 years and then this is being deployed and you find yourself, you keep hitting your head against a wall, you might then apply to do an MSc in Internet of Things or sensor networks. And then that's a needs-driven MSc. It both helps guide your MSc and it makes your MSc more fruitful because you know what you've come for. You are not directionless. I see a lot of people coming to do masters who don't really know what they are looking for because they haven't had that brush with the industry. And also, it increases your employability at the end of the day. Absolutely recommend that you do, if you have access to doing gaining some industry experience, please do gain industry experience before going for any postgraduate.
Doctor, I think the depth of the knowledge of our presenters is something that will go all day if we have to allow them. But we appreciate you. And by this, I think we should be wrapping up the Q&A session, unless if with 30 seconds, if Dr. Saliu Lukman
sorry,
has...
Engineer Lumo.
Yes,
There is no
ma'am.
Q&A session. This is the session, the only session that we have.
No, I mean
just
Q&A.
allow.
Okay.
No, sir. We'll only allow 5 minutes for each of them to do a recap on all the questions and concerns that have been raised.
Okay. Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
So as being directed by our president, that's a good guide. So please, Dr. Saliu Mustafa, please your final thoughts and cap up on this matter. Then we'll take on Dr. Anike.
Okay. My final thought on the matter is the fact that you see scholarship or pursuing postgraduate degrees can be part of your developmental plan, can be part of your growth mindset, can be something that you foresee, or can be as a result of need. As the first speaker has mentioned, maybe you started working and then there is need to pursue higher degrees. But some, like me, I wanted to share just my story, but the time was not enough. You know, immediately I finished my high school, 97, I dreamt of having master's and PhD. I used to write it on my notebook, BEng, MSc, PhD, when I did not even gain admission at the university for my undergraduate degree. But then, as they say, you know, I tried to pursue it throughout until I got my PhD, you know, about 15 or 16 years later. So it can be part of your mindset, it can be part of your growth mindset, it can be part of your plan, or it can just be serendipity, it can be just accidental. So always endeavor, try to excel in whatever you do. That is one thing. And try to learn new things, especially in this digital age. Ensure that you empower yourself with digital skills, softwares, simulation, modeling softwares. Ensure in your own specialized area, you are conversant with these
developments. These things are going to help you in no small measure. Thank you. Thank you. That's a good parting shot. Dr. Kelechi, please, let's have yours too.
Thank you very much. My parting shots is mostly to say that you are enough, but you need to do your research. You need to believe in you. MSc postgraduate programs, what it's all about is solving problems, and you do not need a certificate to start solving problems. Nigeria is a very virgin, fertile ground for solving problems because we have so many of them. So distinguish yourself. Like my colleague Dr. Salihu has said, start learning simulation software. Start applying things. If you have a laptop, you do not really need so many things to get started. And because you're solving problems, you're building small solutions. If you're a digital creator, if you're trying to go into sensors and IoT, start building simulation programs. Start buying small sensors and building things. Engineers solve problems. That's what it is all about. I've kept my degree certificates, all three of them, aside since, and actually focus now on solving problems. So if you solve problems, you're going to get rewarded, whether that's with a scholarship, with promotion, with a new job. Think outside the box. Don't just think about jumping in to go and get another certificate. There are millions of us who have those certificates, and always people who solve problems get rewarded. Believe in yourself, do your research. Do not contract your thinking faculty to someone else asking people about this. Most of the questions I've seen in the chat are questions a simple Google search could have answered for you. Please believe in yourself, believe in your ability to do better. And if you do succeed in getting out of the country, please be a good ambassador for our country. We do so much need such good ambassadors. Thank you.
Thank you. And with this, I will hand over to the moderator to take up the next set of activities for this program. Madam President, I appreciate this opportunity. My chairman, Engineer Ifeku Agberagba, thank you for your wonderful leadership skills. And now over to you, Mr. Engineer Yusuf Razak, for the continuation of the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sharafadin Olumo, for moderating the Q&A session. Your guidance has truly helped us maximize the value of this interaction and provided great clarity to our participants. Distinguished participants, guests, we sincerely apologize for slightly exceeding the proposed 2 hours duration for this webinar. We deeply appreciate your patience, commitment, and active engagement throughout the session, which has made it both interactive and very impactful. Before we proceed, kindly be reminded to follow the Young Engineers Future Leaders channel on WhatsApp. The link has been dropped in the chat box. This will serve as an hub to get relevant information, updates, and opportunities within the community. So, and at this point, it is my honor and privilege to invite the chairman of NSE Glasgow branch, Engineer Segun Olanroye, to kindly deliver his remarks.
Thank you so much, Engineer Yusuf. First of all, Madam President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aino Gutala, FNSC, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. We want to thank you as Glasgow branch for the opportunity to collaborate on this session. First of all, I want to say, how did we get to this place today? I mean, this is a fallout of one of the sessions, which we had on our webinar where Dr. Kelechi, who is our technical secretary, spoke on a topic like this. And then the chairman, IRC, Engineer Valerie Agberagba, said, I mean, there's value in this information that we can extend to the Young Engineers Forum. So we're happy that we were given this opportunity by Madam President and the chairperson of IRC to present this. We also want to use the opportunity. From everything that you've listened to, you see that our speakers are not just people who spoke from theory. These are people who have spoken from experience and are also in the field of educating people within this place. So the information they have passed to us today are very valuable they are insightful, and they are also very inspiring. I think the key notes or the key takeaway from this session today is about planning. You can plan 3-4 years ahead. You can plan to be able to gather all the requirements you need for your scholarship. Some of these requirements are not just something you pick from your box. These are things you probably need to prepare for. For example, academic excellence. You have to really work towards it to be able to achieve a very good grade, which will increase your chances of this of securing this scholarship. It's not to say that if you don't come out with very fantastic grades, you don't have that opportunity, but it increases your chances. So we need to plan. And I think this is the errors a lot of people have. They just wake up and then you want to go for masters, and then you have few months to really prepare for it. Yeah, it doesn't give you a very good chance. So if we're going to take something away from this, planning is a key one. Another thing that came out is research. These informations are out there. Go ahead and search for them. And then when you have questions, you can also ask for it. I think there is an opportunity to take this event and this program further. And I would suggest to the International Relations Committee, because I was looking through the charts and there were suggestions from, like, for example, Solomon Inikori, I believe he's based in the US, and he was talking about if you are pursuing any scholarship in the US, you can get in touch. Also, there were comments from Professor Sanjay Popola, the pioneer chairman of London branch, about where you can get opportunities. So I think there is an opportunity for the diaspora branches to come together and work with the IRC to be able to help our young engineers so that when they come here, they don't have to walk the steps that we have walked, but to provide the right information for them to make their journey easier. It's still a journey they're going to take, but with the right information, you'll be able to make your journey much easier. So it's been a wonderful time spent here. It's been valuable information which has been passed across. Let's go back to these slides again. Let's go back to these recordings again and acquit ourselves with it. So once again, I want to thank Madam President, Engineer Margaret Aino Gutala FNSC, for the opportunity as Glasgow branch to collaborate with IRC. I want to also thank Engineer Valerie Agberagba for this opportunity also. We look to collaborate on more fronts. And then I hope we all have picked something from here as young engineers, as professionals, as matured ones, and we can run with this. So thank you so much, and then God bless everyone. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, the chairman of Glasgow branch. Distinguished guests, on behalf of the president, it's been a wonderful session so far. So, and on this note, I want to invite our wonderful president and chairman in council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina Oguntala, for our closing remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. I've enjoyed the session and so much that I'm sure that everybody has. Abdulrazak mentioned earlier that he was apologizing for exceeding the 2 hours, but I think it's worth it. It's for good reason, and every minute that we have spent here today has been worth it. I'd like to thank again the guest speakers who, like the chairman of Glasgow, Engineer Segun Olarinyi said, have spoken from the point, not just from theoretical point, but from experience. And they also, both of them spoke from their hearts. I noticed that, and I appreciate it. For the contributions of members, from the contributions, I can see that we are all very passionate about how we go about this discussion or this conversation that we have started today. And like Chairman Glasgow said, the conversation has to be taken further. It can't be a one-off. The entire diaspora branches would come together and we'll have probably have another one where we'll not only be speaking about scholarships, but also about job opportunities, outside Nigeria. And that's, of course, the job also is part of the TOR of the IRC and the International Mobility Committee. So we'll have that seminar. The secretary to the IRC was just asking me if we can have another one before the conference. I'm sure that we can. The last one was on 23rd of August, I believe, and this is just a month later. So nothing stops us from having even two between now and the conference, so that by the time we go to the conference, we'll be talking about the gains of these webinars that we have had and how we can consolidate those gains. So again, I'd like to thank everyone, particularly for the collaboration. This is the first time we're having this kind of collaboration, and we came in talking, and expressing ourselves on how we must continue to collaborate. No man is an island. We've had that since a long time ago. But now it's even more apparent that we need one another. So we shall continue to collaborate, all of us together, working towards strengthening the partnerships that we have been able to build, working towards charting a good future for Nigeria through the future leaders, and that's YEFoN. So again, this is just the beginning of the conversation. We'll continue to talk, we'll continue to engage, and please, let's have the two presentations maybe dropped in the chat box, or because sending to individual emails may also be a bit cumbersome. So let's have the presentations dropped in the chat box so that participants can pick the presentations and go home with them to further study and prepare for the next one. I want to mention the fact that the highest number that we had at this webinar was 157. That's not bad at all. But for the number of young engineers,
we had 167.
Oh, 167. Okay,
Yeah,
so
at the time.
that's very good, but not good enough. And I'll tell you why. I know the number of young engineers that we do have on the database of NSC. And I expect, and it's not just this seminar or webinar rather, it's not just about young engineers. It's also for those who feel that who want to advance themselves, professionally and educationally. So please, for the next one, maybe we need to do a bit more publicity to ensure that everybody hears, everybody knows, and more people participate. The more people we are able to reach, the better for us. Now, let me just quickly mention the matter of NSC recommending. I'm glad that Dr. Kenichi already answered that question. NSC cannot recommend, because recommending also means that you know the academic prowess or background of that person. Financially, of course, we have a scholarship fund. So maybe from time to time, the scholarship fund is actually for those who want to study within. It was set up for those who are studying within, for us to support undergraduates from within Nigeria, not for postgraduates. But then it's also something that we can explore, maybe using some of our partners. So you've just thrown something to me now that we'll look at. I'll discuss with our team, and we'll see how we can help from time to time. But most importantly, I have learned from this webinar that getting scholarship or getting admission or going for postgraduate studies is something that you must start from the beginning. So, because you need high grades, and you can't get high grades after you have finished your undergraduate studies. So we need to talk to people who are gaining admission into universities for undergraduate studies to start planning for the academic progression by working very hard from day one. So on that note, I'd like to congratulate everyone here, the organizing committee, the collaborators, that's the IRC, YEFoN, and Glasgow branch. So thank you for this collaboration that has worked so well for us today. As I look forward to more of such, and I pray that we all have a very wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. We really appreciate every one of you on this call. And just to remind us, we'll be having the NSC Engineering Convention in 2026 at Glasgow, and it's going to be between 6th and 8th of August 2026. And we invite every one of you to register and attend because it's going to be rich and interesting. So having said that, I would like to...
That's very good planning. Well
Thank
done.
you. Yeah. So I'll invite Abdulateef Edicha for vote of thanks. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Madam President and Chairman in Council, my mother and the mother of modern engineering, and the expectation exceeding presidents. It is a privilege for me to give the vote of thanks as the team lead for the continuous development team of YEFoN. Let me start by thanking Madam President and appreciating her for the support she's given us thus far, particularly from June till now, under our renewed vigor to ensure that your vision of preparing the young engineers for the future ahead is taken to the highest level. From June till now, we've been very consistent, and this is our 4th episode. By June, you were here in person with us. July, you were ably represented by the Vice President, Membership Services. By July, you are ably represented as well by the Vice President in charge of asset management. And today in in August, and today in September, you are here with us in person. We can't thank you enough. Thank you, Mommy, for everything you are doing. And we will not let you down. Let me also thank the IRC, ably led by very distinguished engineer. Let me also thank all the senior members on this call. I also have members from Kenya. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. So distinguished engineers.
Photographs, please. I hope you have that because it's not written on the program. Let's have photograph session.
Okay. So please, we should all on our camera while the IT team will take the photograph. And as we close, want to encourage everyone to stay connected by following the Young Engineers Future Leaders channel on WhatsApp. So where we can all get the relevant updates, opportunities that will be shared. So with that, I just want...
Woody. Is that, no, it's not. I thought T Woody. Yeah, okay. I thought that was
the
my...
IT.
Okay.
Thank you, my president.
IT team, please confirm if you've taken the photograph.
Yeah, I've taken the photograph. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. On behalf of the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSC, Engineer Margaret Aina Obuntala, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I want to say a very big thank you for all for making today's event a success. Until we meet again in our next edition, please remain safe, keep striving for excellence, and continue to unlock your full potential. So now we'll be moving to the closing by reciting the third stanza of the national anthem. So please, let's rise as we do so. O God of all creation, grant this
our
our
one request.
Help
Help us
us
to build a
build a
nation
nation
when
where
no man
man
is
is
oppressed,
oppressed, and so
Nigeria may be
peace
blessed.
and plenty
plenty.
Nigeria may be
Nigeria
blessed.
may be
Brothers,
blessed.
I hope you will be blessed. I
Amen.
would accept those that are in the car not to stand while they are driving.